Okay guys, hello everyone. I'm very pleased to speak at such a great conference. Today we would like to share our knowledge and experience in the topic of personalization in banks, especially in building the customer 360. I will introduce myself. My name is Jakub Štech and I'm data science architect at Datacentrics. That's a machine learning and cloud data engineering boutique. I will introduce Datacentrics in a while, but my position is about to really translate the business needs and issues to the data science solutions. And especially I'm focused on understanding the customer needs and in personalizing the experience using various machine learning and data science approaches. So to introduce Datacentrics a little bit, so we are like 80 data specialists, data scientists, data engineering guys. We are mainly focusing on financial services and retail, and we are not just working on various projects, but we are incubating our own machine learning based products. And of course, we are happy partner of Databricks and Microsoft. And I'm very happy that my invitation accepted Veronika Pěchčáková, who is among the best persons in Czech Republic to speak about personalization and especially in building the customer 360. So I will hand it over to Verča.
Hi all, my name is Veronika Pěchčáková. I'm the product owner of the squad client profile at the bank Ceska sporitelna, one of the largest banks in Central Europe. And me and my team, we are responsible for building the Databricks-centric analytic platform in Azure, combined with an on-prem data lake in order to fulfill the customer engagement vision. And we are building the holistic profile together with Datacentrics, and that's why I'm here with Jakub from Datacentrics. And by the way, thank you for the invitation. For context, some information about Ceska sporitelna. We have almost 200 years of history, and with almost 5 million of customers, we are the biggest bank in the Czech Republic. We are the part of the Erste Group. Together with 6 European banks, Ceska is considered the driver of innovation in the group. And 2 years ago, the agile transformation began in the bank, and it still continues.
So today's agenda, I will talk about the personalization, why it even matters. One big topic are the challenges in change management, because it's not just about the data, but it's about the whole organization and the whole mindset, which especially in Ceska sporitelna, they are already set up. And then we will share our solution with you guys. Okay, so a few words about personalization. You all guys know all of these very famous companies that they are selling their services. And I think data and AI and really personalization is their DNA. And as a bank or insurance company, they are raising the expectations of the customers. And especially when I take Ceska sporitelna as the oldest bank and the biggest bank in Czech Republic, so there are many challenges ahead. So let's talk about them.
So now I'm going to talk about the personalization in retail banking. Offering the financial products and services isn't the same as offering films or songs. It's not about the well-filmed trailers or famous stars. Usually, banks need to more explain their benefits of products, and it's very complicated to excite clients. In banking, it's true more than elsewhere that content is the king, and it's crucial to be relevant. I mean, to know clients' life situations and to know their needs and to tailor the communication to this, no matter service or sales communication. As I mentioned below, communication should be tailored. And when I talk about tailored communication, I don't just mean useful content, but it's important to be in the right place in the right time. And these are building blocks of personalization in banking, according to me. Yeah, now I would like to talk about more about the key challenges. We have been struggling with, and sometimes we are still struggling to fulfill our mission, being the most personalization bank in the CE region. First, we had no information about customer behavior, but banking is the relationship business. And to have a relationship, it means to know each other. So customer interactions, online data, interests, segmentations are holy grail for banks. Another challenge was our data science team. Internal data scientists develop their models, but they were not able to impact the real campaign workflow because it required the ability of data engineering. The third, client insights were not easily accessible. I mean, we need large analytical team for relatively simple tasks, and it took effort, time, and of course money. So the last challenge I'm going to talk about is time to market. As you can see on the picture above, our campaign workflow was very confusing, and it required too many unnecessary interactions. Thanks to a new data model, we have access to very interesting customer insights, and we are able to respond quickly to customer needs and situations. We face these challenges. I mean, access to customer insights, lack of data engineers, plugging of data scientists model, and reduction of analytical team together with data-centric team. And I think that we are very, very successful. And you're lucky guys today, because Magician Jakub is going to share the data-centric secret with you.
Okay, so let's see what we have in our lake that we can ensure the proper personalization in our banks. So first of all, there are card transactions. I think it's the gold in the banks, and we have all of this data regarding what card, when did the card purchased, what sales point, etc. But it's about to derive really the insights and the interest of these customers. And we have many in these green boxes. I will share you a few examples of discoveries that we can make in order to ensure some campaign, in order to ensure some useful insight. And now I'm talking regarding one special investment campaign. So here, especially, we can maybe find the customer that is spending money for some luxury goods or cinemas, and this money can be maybe invested. And in these red boxes, I would try to outline the struggles or maybe opportunities that the bank can have. And it's about, first of all, billions of transactions. So there are many performance and scalability issues when you are doing it on-prem, and even the necessity of the transaction categorization. Because when we talk about card transactions, it's pretty okay, it's doable. But when we are talking about transfers, so it becomes very hard task, and sometimes it's about some expert rules, but sometimes it's just about some advanced NLP and text analytics techniques, really to use the notes or the bank notes regarding the purchases and the transfers. Next data source are the web interactions or the digital interactions that may be coming for internet banking, mobile apps, etc. So basically here we can find many useful discoveries regarding what the customer is interested. Really, is he reading our product pages? Is he playing with some investments or loans calculator, etc.? So basically that we can use for the investment campaigns, but there are many opportunities and struggles as well. First of all, billions of interactions. So they are in an unstructured manners in some JSONs, and we won't make the data warehouse guys very happy about that. So it's a pretty nice task for Spark and the cloud technologies. And next source could be like the most soft for me. That are the ad impressions on publisher's website. We have these informations, what topic and what URLs are the customers and even the users of the internet that they are exposed to our online ad, but even that they are not the customers and they would become one. And we can derive their the topics, their lifestyle, their issues that they are dealing with. And for the investment campaigns, we can, the customer is handling like retirement, or he's searching articles about financial independence, etc. And we can use it not only for the segmentation, but I would say even for the content, because as Veronica said, it's content is king, and everybody is doing some segmentations, but you have to somehow connect with the right content and the right communication. And these struggles and opportunities, of course, it's hard to convince a bank to migrate some or all data in the cloud. It's we are dealing like 2 years almost with the security restrictions, etc. But it's worth the fight, and I think it gets better and better and better. But as we see these ad impressions, so it's maybe this data source is pretty okay for bank, because the data are stored in online and they are created in online, so we can use it in online. And very nice data source, I would say, are the voice calls, the surveys, the echos. So we can derive and we can use some voice to text, we can use some advanced NLP techniques in order to get these topics that these customers are telling us and they are asking us. And this brings again some discoveries, and maybe it can even bring some metrics, because when you make a communication, so we can then see are they happy with the communication, are they happy with the products, etc. But I would see here not maybe struggle, but I think it's an opportunity for a bank, because I was very surprised that even in Ceska Spořitelna, the customers, some of the customers, or many customers, they are ready to tell us their needs. They are ready to talk to us, and maybe sometimes it's about that the bank is somehow shy or they don't want to over communicate. So that's basically, I think, a great challenge to get the right topic, to get the right segment, and to talk to them. But as you can see, it's hard to really get the content, etc. And last but not least, there are many sources. One very important are the branch meeting activities that should be really used. And I think it's not about that we should really use some rule-based approach. I think it's a great opportunity for experts to be augmented by AI. Really, for me, it's about the augmentation, not like really everything should be done by AI, but it's just somehow to use the connection with the expert and AI. Okay, so now we have all of these data sources in our lake, and we describe them, and let's reveal the solution for the personalization. Yeah. So first of all, we built something we call Retail Banking 360 data model, and it's based on few layers. The first layer, the most below one, is the L0, but it's the raw data sources that should be ingested, like about the products, about the card transactions, even about the banners, all of these data sources that we described. On top of it, we built L1 layer. That's the real customer 360, and that's about the customer touch points, who, when, where, what topic did he deal with. And I think the very great challenge here is the identity management. Not just when customer logs into internet banking to really join the online and offline identity, but even when he joins the bank, to be able to roll it back and to look in the history and to look if we have something in our lake and really use even the history. And two layers on top of it are the journeys, of course, the customer event table that is formed into customer journeys. And the most useful one, I would say, for the use cases, it's about the client attributes and the micro insights. Sometimes it's just basic ETL, but sometimes that are very advanced segmentation, machine learning calculations. And for me, as a data scientist, it's a great opportunity to really get the use of my own machine learning models. Because as I worked as a junior data scientist, so I was not so happy when I did 2 or 20 models and they end up in a PowerPoint slides or just some pilot. But when you attach it really to the data model and you democratize it, so everybody in the bank can use it. So that's a great opportunity. And yeah, we have the customer journeys, and what we can do, it's not just about to predict what product would someone purchase, but it's about really the life moments, yeah? What he read about, what he did more often. Did he logged into mobile banking? Did he lost his job or something like that? So these moments are really can be learned by machine learning models, and we can use it and as a discoveries for our communication and for various use cases such as retail risk, etc. And yeah, there is a really great challenge or strong need for feature store, because when you know all of these touch points, all the journeys, so I would really like to empower these data scientists and to share already exploited information, not every time reinvent the wheel, because, you know, we data scientists are like very creative creatures, but it's okay to democratize, but it should be democratized across the whole company for the whole data scientists and all of these branches. And yeah, as we see, on top of it, we then end up with hundreds of machine learning models. We have not only the lifestyles and interests regarding finance, retirement, but even the correlation between these traits, and these increase the demand for machine learning operations, because we want to have some scalable machine learning environment. We want to have the model registry. We would like to detect the data drifts, the model drifts, etc. So it's a huge demand, and I think it's the next big step for the machine learning industry to take. And yeah, that's end for us. That we have all of these automated insights. They are democratized across the whole company with maybe some app or just data lake or some GUI, and based on that we can then create these contents and sync it to all of these communication tools. So it's a great it's really great to have the same features, the customer features, not only for online channels, but even for the offline channels and even for the banker, because the banker wants to know what is the customer dealing with, what issues is he trying to solve, and he can really use the advisory and yeah, advise him. And we did some POCs with Ceska Spořitelna, and among the higher engagement, I would like to mention that in some segments we saw already some increasing in NPS, and it's a good thing that some of the segments are really happy to talk. They are happy that Ceska Spořitelna is trying to educate the people. And yeah, it really matters. So as a conclusion, all of these modules and applications, we call it like personalization suite in data scientists. These are the models that are very important. And of course, in the middle for me is a Persona app. That is a tool that tries to democratize the insights and share it across the whole company. And of course, all of these is run on the cloud platforms. And of course, we use Spark because of the millions and billions of transactions. So maybe, guys, thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, ask them now. And thank you very much.